as well. So listen, what is happening now that is different, or what is new in terms of the intel? Now, listen for the nuances in what I have to bring tonight, because in a way, a lot of things have happened since last Thursday's call, and yet none of us on this call that I know of are any richer or at the banks yet. However, everything is pointing toward a trip to the redemption centers. Very, I see into your future. I see into your near future that we have plans for you to go forward into a redemption center near you shortly. Now, why am I saying that? Here's what's going on. Let's talk first. Let's just bring Iraq into play and say, first of all, is there anything new in Iraq? Is there anything pertinent left in Iraq? Yes, there are a few things that are new. Do you remember we told you about the lower denominations of the dinar that were being placed in the ATM machines in the various locations throughout Iraq, and that they were placed in there and ready to go? Our understanding is they are still in there ready to go, but they haven't put them out yet. They have not yet utilized those lower denominations, the lower value notes of the dinar. But they were supposed to be put out today. Now, they were supposed to be, but they weren't. Now, what does that tell you? That would tell you that their intention was to make their rate change known today, and that the lower denominations would be needed because the rates would have gone dramatically higher, and to the range that you and I both know that they will be. And we have heard that the rates in Iraq are in a very strong situation and will be stronger. We've heard that people that are getting paid on their cards or their retirement pay, it's going up. It's going up substantially, like 130, 40%. I think primarily due to the change in the in-country rate of the dinar. Without being able to prove that exactly, I can just tell you that everything is complete regarding what's happened in Iraq. Iraq has already announced that this Saturday, the 10th, is Liberation Day. Now, what are they talking about? What are they liberated from? I believe that's a direct reference to the liberation of Mosul and the take-back of Mosul, and a number of different announcements that might also come out on or around that day, which is Saturday. That is the 10th. What about the 12th? The 12th, which is Monday, is called Celebration Day in Iraq. What would they be celebrating? Of course, they could celebrate the liberation of Mosul. They could celebrate the return to a sovereign republic. They could return to a currency that is now revalued and internationally tradable again. Several things. They could celebrate the new rate that would be in their budget, which would be put in the Gazette, and so on and so forth. There's several different things. And that's what the schedule is going to show. A celebration day on Monday and Liberation Day on Saturday, which is our late Friday night. Now, does that mean that we have to wait until then for us, those of us who are part of the internet group, those of us who are listening to calls, that are on blogs, that are paying attention to the intel, that understand the scenario of the redemption centers and what's involved there, involved in humanitarian projects, does that mean that those of us who are part of this group have to wait until the weekend? Right now, I'm going to say I don't believe so, based on the other intel that I'm getting. But even if that were the case, and that would be as long as we need to wait, I think we could all make it. Hopefully we could all make it to the weekend. I think that the plan is to release this sooner. And as we go back across our country and we see what has happened, let's first stop off on the East Coast. Now, what happened yesterday morning at 10 a.m. all across this country at 10 a.m. Eastern Time? There was a conference call involving Wells Fargo Bank and all the branches. Personnel from wealth managers to private bankers to staff members and so on all heard about the 5 currencies by name in the first basket. They heard their names, they know about the revaluation, they know it's coming, and they were told yesterday morning within 4 to 6 days. They weren't given an exact date because they didn't know the exact date, but they were told to be prepared for this change, for these currencies to go up in value. And that's the first time, as far as I know, that all employees at the bank were made aware of this. We know that wealth managers have known for a long time. Obviously, people at the redemption centers know. But this is, we're talking about the branches, the bank branches. So I think it's very, very positive. That's a nuance of something that is new. That is new. That's the first time that has occurred. Now, what about other banks? What about the other Tier 1 banks? What about Bank of America? What about Chase? What about Citi? What about the other Tier 2 banks, of which there are 107 different branded names of those banks? Have they had similar calls already? I don't know the answer to that. My suspicion is that they have, that everybody is basically up to speed. I don't know that. I don't know that yet. I'm only going to suspect that possibly at least the Tier 1 banks are up to speed like Wells is. I'm believing that HSBC is completely up to speed now, that all of their personnel know, since a lot of their personnel are going to be involved at the redemption centers and also at Wells Fargo locations. Now, so that's new. What about what's going on with the ZIM? The ZIM has continued to trade, and it hit a certain level last night, would have been Monday night, which I believe put it where it was needed to be in terms of a number, in terms of a value, in terms of a rate. And I believe it's in a good place where now it is settled and not trading anymore, and is just right there where they want it. I'm going to say, I don't want to say frozen, but it's been solidified right where it is in exactly where they need it to be. It's at a great place, at a very strong rate. Now, that is new. That's another thing that is new. What about what's going on out west? What's happening out west that is new and different? I can tell you that we've talked about tier 2s, tier 3s. We know that the internet group is part of what we call tier 4. And we know that tier 2s and tier 3s have been moving through nicely, especially today. We had an audit that was taking place, and that was completed yesterday, late afternoon. And we know that the audit produced the results that they were looking for, especially in terms of, maybe personnel that didn't qualify to be part of this, that were there and that were removed from the groups. Let's call it that. All right, so that ended up being a very exacting result and a very positive result. Everybody that was involved in the audit, it was completely successful. Now, as a result of that, we know that the groups and the tiers 2 and 3 have continued to be funded. Continue to be funded to the point where the accounts are being hydrated, and those funds, as far as I know, are available. And that's a very positive thing. And my belief on that today is that is ongoing. Now, without getting too technical or too specific on anything else, suffice it to say that things are moving toward us now more than ever. Now things are moving in the right direction, where we anticipate the notification by toll-free number to come shortly. I know that all of us would want it yesterday, and I know that in some ways, maybe it was intended for today already. Maybe it was intended, but it hasn't happened yet. So what we're going to say is, let's continue our intention to believe that it is on its way, and we will receive it at the proper time. I think everything is moving forward. It seems like it's moving slowly from our perspective, but I think behind the scenes, what we can't see is things are moving very quickly. Funds are moving toward major humanitarian funding sources, to where those are being received. Major tranches are taking place and will continue to take place this week and next week. We understand that everything is sort of staged and ready for the release. We understand the expression, all the boxes have been checked, is true. So it's going to be a matter of the exact specific time to release. That we don't know. That we cannot know quite what that is going to be. But we know that we are right there at the right time, ready to receive this. And there are several things that happened in the last couple of days, especially today, that are new. We've heard expressions like, hang on, we're right there, wait a few days. Maybe it'll be a few days, guys. Maybe it'll take all the way to the weekend. I don't know. I'm thinking that things are moving through to where we could have this before the weekend. Yeah, right away. But I don't know it. I'm not going to lie to you and pretend. I'm not going to exaggerate it. It is what it is, but it's very, very good. And I'm excited. Yes, we've heard before, this is our week. Yes, we've heard that several weeks in a row. We've been told that again, even today. one of these days, that is going to be true. It is going to be our week. I'm hoping that this time it's true. That this is our week. Now, what are you supposed to do in the meantime? You're supposed to maintain whatever it is you're doing under your plan A. If you have a job, you keep your job. Now, you may be thinking, okay, I'm going to get out of here after this thing happens. Give your notice, do the right thing. If they let you out right away, great. If you want to work out your notice, do that. Be honorable. Do the right thing with any employer that you have. Don't burn any bridges. Just leave a good, you're going to have to decide how to exit your current situation and go to plan B. But in the meantime, stick with plan A. Dance with the one who brung you. Okay? Don't change, Don't change boats in midstream. You got to stay with this until it's time. And I wish we had all tried to do that years ago. Some people have, just not had anything going for the last number of months or years because they just knew it was right here. And I know it. I thought it was right here too. You guys know I've been doing this call. I'm in my 6th year now. 7 years of doing calls. 13 years of being a part of this. It's a long time. That's what? A fourth of my life? Close to it. Not exactly. But, guys, I think that we're in a good position right now to take advantage of this. I know I'll probably think of some more things in the way of intel. I'll probably have it, but I can tell you that right now, things were very, very quiet, and they're still pretty much quiet. I like the idea of laying low. Don't anybody put out what they think the 800s are. I'll be one of the first people to know because I'm the one that's going to get the 800 number to give to you. Okay? That's a blessing, and it's an honor for me.
It's a lie.
So I just want everybody to just, kind of lay low, watch the rumors, just stay positive, stay confident, and look forward to an all-new existence for yourself.